Hello, puppy. Hello. How are you, little puppy? Hello. You're cute puppy. Hello.
Hey everybody, it's Peter, and in this video, we're gonna review this Skidoo. This is the Skidoo Grand Touring LE model. This one happens to have the 900 ACE engine in it, and what we're gonna do in this video is go through a feature review of it to really show you not just what the features are, but how they benefit you as a rider. So I hope that's something you're interested in, and I gotta be fair, snowmobiles are very new to this channel, and I'm sort of the expert in training, but what the cool thing is, I'm filming here at Extreme Torque Motorsports. I'm at their Fredericton location in New Brunswick, and if you're anywhere in New Brunswick, these guys are absolutely amazing to deal with. They've taken me under their wing to teach me the things that I need to know to show you, but I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do. Because snowmobiles are so new on this channel, I'm gonna ask you, if you're interested in this kind of content, to do me a favor and help the algorithms out. Share this content, maybe with your snowmobiling friends or snowmobiling groups. Make sure you give it a like, leave a comment, maybe leave some encouragement. But bigger thing is, if you have questions about this unit or anything in the lineup, make sure you ask me those questions below, because even if I don't have the answer right away, I'll dig into those questions and we'll make more videos and future videos to make sure that we can answer everything that you wanna know about all of these units. And we're gonna have a lot of snowmobile content coming up on this channel, but we'll have more if you can sort of support it and make it really worthwhile for everybody involved. So let's get going with this review. So let's talk about this Grand Touring model. Now this looks to the average viewer, and even to me, a lot like the one that I filmed yesterday, which was Can-Am or Skidoo's Expedition model. Now the Expedition model, I kind of related to a motorcycle, and I think I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. So that one was more of the adventure bike of snowmobiles. This one is far more of the luxury touring bike, and that's exactly how it's marketed, is as a luxury type unit. So we're gonna go through this and see, hey, did they hit the mark, did they miss the mark? And I'm gonna be honest, at first glance, I think they really hit the mark. As you know, any kind of device that you ride, you know, when they tour something as luxury, it can be a little bit more marketing and styling than it actually is for function. And you know, a luxury car, it can envelop you in silence and that kind of thing. But when you start dealing with outdoor equipment and outdoor toys, you end up with a little bit more of a loose definition of luxury. I mean, you're out in the open, that kind of thing. What this one does though is I do think it hits the mark, and with a couple key things. First of all, we're gonna talk about the engine in a second and how I think this is the right engine for this unit. You may disagree, and that's fine. There's 3 engine options. But even little things like the track, the suspension is well designed for this, but the track is like 70% less vibration than some other models as far as vibration to the driver. You've got all the heated equipment that you need, heated seats and that kind of thing. We're gonna go through some of those features as we go in here. You've got really good adjustment here of comfort and everything else. And then you also have the technology, and technology is a big piece of a modern luxury vehicle, no matter what class of vehicle you're looking at. And this one has some really good technology in there. But the Expedition had a lot of the same technology. So let's talk about if this one's worth it and why this one's different than the Expedition, why it's not an adventure bike and more of a Goldwing kind of bike in the snowmobile world as far as being a snowmobile comparing it to a bike. So let's deal with that right now by starting with the engine. So yesterday when we reviewed the Expedition, we talked about 4 engine choices, one of them being a 2-stroke option. This one has 3 engine choices, and they're the same engine options without that 2-stroke option. So what that does is it takes away a little bit of a lightweight, high horsepower engine, which is really more sport oriented, and it puts in only the 4-stroke engines instead. Now there's 3 different options of that. There's the base 900 ACE engine, so that's the same 3-cylinder engine that's used in like their 3-wheel Rikers that they have, as well as used in things like ultralight airplanes. The Rotax engine is used in all kinds of things, so it's not just snowmobiles. But in this lineup, there's the Turbo R above this one, and this is a model that, although it's a luxury model, I think that it makes sense with this non-turbo model, and that's because the class of vehicle that this is. This, not being the Expedition, is not a crossover of sorts. This is an on-trail designed unit, so it doesn't have to deal with the same type of more difficult terrain that something would be that's made purely for powder, purely for sport, or that on-trail, off-trail. So from a track perspective, the flotation from the front skis, the setup of that, it's all designed to be an on-trail device. And that means you don't quite need the high torque engines of the Turbo and the Turbo R. So that leaves you with a little bit less horsepower, but again, a still fully luxurious unit. Now the benefit of this engine compared to the other two, although it has less power, is also the fact that it can be run on regular fuel. And to me, when you're going from trail network to trail network, it's very easy to pull into gas stations and find regular fuel. Premium fuel can be a little bit harder to find in some locations, so that gives you the benefit of lower cost of running, but also easy availability of fuel. So that's one of the things I really like about this engine. And again, it fits what you're doing. You don't need quite as much power. You know, you don't need, you know, full Super Duty F250 power when you only need an F150 type truck. And it's the same idea with this. You don't need that full power when you're staying on a trail system, but you still get that luxury. And that's what's cool about this is, you know, in the automotive world, you usually have to step up to the highest engine to get the highest features, and that's not necessarily the case with this unit. So one of the things that makes a snowmobile a more luxury-oriented unit is something like wind protection and the ability to stay warm. So ability to stay warm can be taken care of in two ways, like we mentioned, wind protection and electrically heated components. We're going to show you those in a second, but just check out the windshield here. This is the larger windshield with that curve up right there. So you've got a lot of wind protection where it sends the wind around you, but a lot of times people don't notice, and we'll try to zoom in here. We've got a lot of shadows in here. You've got extra protection out there on the side there as well. And what I really think is cool is they go the extra mile to add the little bit winglets down there in the center of your screen. Let me zoom right into those right now. Those little winglets are also sort of windshield style material that do that little bit extra of pushing that extra wind around you. So it's the attention to detail on this unit that really makes sense for me. As you dig into it, you can really sort of see they really are going for that more luxury end, that more, you know, peaceful, calm, you know, top end type ride that you get out of this. And like I said, those little winglets, they don't have to be there. Nobody's gonna buy or not buy this unit, but this is about them going the extra detail to make the difference in your ride. And that's what really stands out to me in this unit, is all the extra little details. So when we talk about extra details, we have to talk about the digital dash. Now there's so much in this dash that I'm gonna have to make a separate video. So do me a favor, leave in the comment section if you wanna have a full feature review of the dash where I go through all the features that are available in this. This is very similar to what we saw yesterday in the Expedition model, but you do have that full digital dash. As we come out here a little further, you can see all the controls for everything here, your kill switch over here. Yesterday we looked at the throttle on the Expedition and it had the feel of a cable, let me see if I can get that in focus there. I thought I could do it. There we go. It had the feel yesterday of the cable type throttle, but it was still a digital throttle. This one doesn't have the cable attached, but it's an electronic throttle. So again, it has that digital feel. The reason you want electronic throttle on a more luxurious unit is for this switch right here, which we're gonna zoom into in a second, down in the middle. That little switch just above their fuel cap there, that is your Eco and Sport switch. And what that does is puts it into a sport mode or an eco mode. You also have your little visor connection there to warm up your visor. So again, all those little features that are gonna keep you going. You'll notice right there on the fuel cap, that 87 octane fuel. You're gonna see 91 on a number of units that have the turbo or other types of units. But this one, again, that 87 octane pump gas, regular gas, is a nice little feature for this. Again, you still have the features. Let's see if we can keep going to the same shot to go up top to the handles over there. Just basic controls. We'll show you, I don't know if that's zoomed in the best angle, but you can sort of see things there. Let me just walk around the unit and show you what you've got. Up top here, phone connection. When we showed you the digital dash, one of the things we didn't talk about is you can pair your phone on a headset. You can answer your call, hang up on your call right there. It's the volume switch as well in there, so you have that button for this. You've got your heated grips over here, your heated throttle over there. You've got your start button and your reverse. So this can electrically put it into reverse and allow you to back it up, and then your headlight switch right there. All of them are easy to reach. And one of the things that's cool about any Can-Am product or Skidoo product here is they really have high quality switches. Sometimes they feel kind of plasticky and clicky. These are nice solid. There is a clickiness to them, but they don't feel like you're going to break them at all. And especially in a unit that's going to be dealing in the snow, when you have plastic buttons that feel too clicky, they can feel like they're cracking instead of just being used. These ones feel great even in the snow, and of course obviously easy to deal with gloves on, which is what you need. I do want to point out this controller over here that you're looking at in the center of your screen right now, because this is what controls your digital dash, but it's not just the fact that it controls your dash. Inside that dash are things like suspension settings. So you can tap into here and you can go through 5 levels of suspension settings there, you know, to adjust both for a passenger and just overall comfort. You can change little things in here, like you can go through settings there and see things like instant fuel economy and other fuel economy type issues and a whole bunch more. So like I said, it's an entire other video to show you everything, but you can see the general size of this and the control, even with gloves on, obviously easy to control, very easy to get to. And there is some backlighting underneath here that I don't have turned on right now, but you can see this even in the dark at a glance, tell where you are. And because it's so big, even with gloves on, you can kind of feel where it is and therefore automatically know where everything is for your hand. So you don't have to take your eyes off the trail in order to operate it, which I think is a really smart system. I'm filming later in the day than I usually do, so you're gonna have some glare and some sunlight here, but I'm gonna jump right in that sunlight here for you and show you what we've got here for seating position, because as we talk about the seating position, that's something that really matters. And again, comparing this kind of to like a motorcycle, you know, that adventure bike seating position in a motorcycle is different than something like a Goldwing. And this one, again, is sort of a step up. Now, you don't notice it a whole lot in the front seat compared to that Expedition. You still have really good cush, really good overall sort of padding, and a nice wide seat. Again, that's kind of standard for this type of class. Where you see a big difference in this one is compared to the Expedition that we looked at yesterday, this is a one-piece seat, so it's all attached, whereas the Expedition you can sort of take that rear seat off. There is some comfort here. We're going to show you some of the controls to heat things, and both grips and the seat base and the seat back are all heated, but this one-piece seat, it is a just, you know, slight step up in comfort from the other one. So you still got these plasticky panels here. They're almost rubber-like. You can see they're very flexible. So if you're going down a trail, you know, and you hit trees, it's not plastic that's going to crack. It's very flexible, but it's designed to keep both the wind off your hands and other trail debris that you could come across. So that, of course, helps out. Heated grips, heated seat, heated back to the seat, and just a really comfortable position. And again, even as a rider, a driver of this unit, oops, that I didn't have that adjustable handlebar in place. You can see that moves to be further forward, further back. But you can tell when you ride their Can-Am Spyders that they're really designed after these types of units, these Skidoos here, because you've got some really good foot movement here. And again, you really feel like you've got space here for your feet, both passenger and rider. Let me show you some of the controls for the rear seat riders. All right, I'm filming on a bit of a tough angle here, so you can see right down here, that's just my tripod, but you can see these are the heated grips on the left-hand side. Let's try to zoom in, again, dealing with some sunshine. You can see the 3 and the 2 lines there, so that's gonna tell you the heat settings there for everything. So that is just below where the rider, or the passenger, excuse me, puts their hands. So they've got easy control, obviously easy to use with their gloves, but it's not just that. You're gonna look back further, and actually I'm gonna make a stop of the camera, we'll make a little cut here to show you what these are right here as well. All right, so again, a little bit of an awkward angle here, but again, that's the switch we were looking at, and these are the 2 pieces we didn't mention. Let's zoom into those right now by just doing this. So again, extra plug-in here for extra heated accessories like your visor, and I believe it's showing your boots there, so you can plug in extra things. The point is your passenger is going to be comfortable with you. So let's talk about overall comfort before we talk about practicality and luggage. So comfort on a unit like this is a lot of things combined. Seating position, so having this adjustable steering, that makes a difference. Wind protection, and there's a lot of it. You notice the width here. Seating comfort, seating position, that's all excellent. And then you talk about suspension. So we're gonna talk about the full suspension in a little bit, but we're gonna talk to you about the vibration. We're gonna talk to you about the adjustments. So we'll show you up that in a second here. And then of course, heating for the passengers. And again, just the engine itself. This is a calm, reliable, comfortable engine to ride. And again, they use it in a variety of units, and it's just something that makes a lot of sense. So the overall comfort is excellent. Now let's show you just a tiny bit of suspension differences, and then we're gonna show you some of the practicality in this as well. So taking a look at the track here, you know, a lot of times people think, hey, track is a track, suspension, but you've got some adjustments here. We're gonna save some of these adjustments for another video just to keep this one not too long. We know we've got the 5 different preload type settings in the electronic suspension, and then there's the track. Again, this track is designed for the trails, but it's also contributing to a quieter ride than some and less vibration than some. So the overall track here also contributes to that luxury ride. Now there are different adjustments on that Expedition that allow for different types of use. This one doesn't come with a factory trailer hitch, so this one's all about passenger comfort as your #1 priority, where the other one's a little bit more versatile. Passenger comfort is a priority, but so is carrying heavy weights, large loads, and trailering behind it. And that means your suspension and track are going to be set up differently on the Expedition model than on this. If you don't need to carry massive heavy loads of luggage, and you don't need to carry, you know, a trailer behind, and that could weigh down the back end, and if you weigh down the back end, you run the risk of lifting the front, which is what some of these adjustments can do to counteract. But if you don't need to do some of those things, you can prioritize comfort above all else, and that's what this track design does. So again, let me know in the comments if you want to know more about track design, suspension, setup, and we'll do a future video on just those pieces so you can have a better understanding of the technologies here that Can-Am puts into these Skidoos. Now let's talk about the luggage capacity that you have, because you still have great luggage capacity. So yesterday on the Expedition, we showed you a similar looking link system, LINQ Can-Am, Skidoo, they are known for their accessories, and the point is you can personalize these the way you want. But if you just want something off the factory floor that's gonna work, you're gonna have a little bit more stylish luggage on here. So the last one we looked at yesterday had a place to hold a saw on one side, an axe on the other side, and then it had storage on the inside. This one is a little different style. It has storage on the inside. And again, if you're not gonna be taking tons of tools on the outside, this is gonna work very well for you. Now the cool thing is you can adapt these. You can take these on or off and put different things on. Yesterday the Expedition had a rail fully around the outside. This one's got the rail down lower and around the back, so still some practicality on the back, but less of a setting of that rail up into your cargo area, so not really much of a tie down there in the same way. The idea with this one is that you're not going to be taking a whole lot of extra things that you don't need this on, just strapping them to, that you're going to use your luggage from the factory and use it in the way you want. Of course, like I said, you can really customize this system out. Best thing to do is go on the website, check the accessories, and a better thing to do is just come here to Extreme Torque Motorsports and talk to them about how you can customize these things up. What's cool about their link system is it isn't just for their snowmobiles, it's for all kinds of vehicles. So while there are some snowmobile specific things, you do have a ton of options, and that because they've got such a wide variety of units that they can use, you end up with more variety in their accessories department because it's not just for snowmobiles. It can be used for a variety of things, even from their boats to their on-road things like their Spider and Riker, right onto snowmobiles. That link system connects to all sorts of things. So tons of accessories. It makes a ton of sense for them to make a lot because they can spread them out over a wider variety of vehicles. One little final item to show you at the back here, you've got a little bit of brake light, tail light in there. It's an LED light here. And then you've got the sort of snow shield, mud flap, that kind of thing. With a lot of them, they're poorly designed for backing up. Of course, this one has that electronic ability to throw you into reverse. But when you're backing this up, you're not going to run into situations where this is sitting there and running into your track. So again, just a well-designed system to do everything you need to do for an on-trail unit. So let's talk about who this unit is really for. So to me, there's really two camps of people that kind of shop for a snowmobile. There's the people that know exactly what they want and the people that are kind of open to opportunities, open to options. And when you walk into a store, especially here like Extreme Torque Motorsports, where there's so many varieties of styles in the showroom to look at, you can kind of get a little bit lost about what you're looking for. So the first thing you got to know is that this is a on-trail unit. So that means it's going to have a little less flotation in the tracks, a little less flotation potentially in the skis here, but it's going to sacrifice some of that versatility in this model in the name of maneuverability and comfort. This is all about comfort. If you're taking someone out that doesn't want to go get beat up by a sled, that isn't about the pure adrenaline rush of a high-powered machine, this is probably a very good option. Now, that's not to say you can't get high power in this. You absolutely can. This one is available with the turbo and the Turbo R engine, but I kind of like the way this is set up for what it's intended to do. If you're on the trail, this is going to be all the power that you need. It's going to be a step down from some of those more sporty models. And to me, if you're stepping up to the bigger engine, you want to make sure this is exactly what you want, because if you're going to the bigger engine for a more sporty ride, then you have to start looking around the showroom and say, how much more sport do I want? Because you may want to move into a different style unit depending on your riding style. But if you're staying on the trails and you want to enjoy your time out for a long time, take the luggage you need for a day or a weekend or that kind of thing, this is a really good option. I love the fact that you can just go get 87 pump octane gas anywhere you want. I think that works for an on-trail unit because, again, you're not digging through that deeper powder, digging through the less groomed trails, and that means that you don't need as much torque to pull you through. But this is still a torquey motor. It's a very good motor. It's not like it's the weakest engine in the class by any means. Again, what I love here, the adjustability of everything that makes it comfortable. It's a very, very comfortable unit to just be sitting on, but things like the 5 electronically adjustable suspension settings, things like the ability to set this up in different drive modes, so to have that sporty feel or the economical feeling. The fact that they advertise that 70% less vibration and less noise reaching the rider makes it more enjoyable to ride. You can talk with your passenger a little bit more. You can share that experience. And again, maybe that person you're taking isn't out to just sitting outside and freezing all day. Well, with the heated seat, the heated options that you can plug in your accessories to, heated hand grips for your passenger, and a really comfortable, dedicated, permanent seat, this is something that you can get out and enjoy, but your passenger can also get out and enjoy, even if your passenger isn't into it in the same way that you are. So who is this for? This is about people who want to stay on the trail, maybe go for a short trip, but have the ability to go for a long trip, not get exhausted because the machine is exhausted, but get tired because you've been out all day having a good time, having fun. And that's what's cool about this to me, is it'll take you to all those cool places so you can have fun, have the energy when you get there. You're not, you know, driving 2 hours out to go see that really scenic spot and then dreading that 2-hour trip home. You can go enjoy it the whole way because part of the enjoyment of your day is just being on this unit. So to me, this is for people who really want to go out for a long time on the trails and enjoy themselves without being beat up, and I think that makes it a great unit. Tell me what you think of this unit, and again, are there Can-Am units you want me to review? Let me know in the comment section, because again, I'm filming here at Extreme Torque Motorsports in Fredericton, New Brunswick. They've got 2 other locations in New Brunswick. Anywhere in New Brunswick, if you're looking for sled this winter, these are the guys to see. They will help you out, and they really are experts. Again, I'm new to reviewing these. There are things that I'm still learning, but they are absolutely filling me in. They really are experts, and again, I'm just an expert in training. If there's things you want to know, let me know, and do me a favor, help me spread this video, give it a like, leave a comment, and again, if you have questions, let me know, because I'll come back to these units and make more videos just for you so we can create a video database of information. Thanks everybody for watching.